IT deans. And I'm really impressed with what I saw here. Of course, the number of police men and women who have been trained as cyber warriors is limited. But I think what's more important is how quickly, as Mohan Reddy Garu said, we can do capacity building. And that can only happen with industry participating. If you join in this effort, I think we can augment our capacities, we can build our skills rather quickly. And I thank Mohan Reddy Garu for coming forward with contribution. And he said pro bono, he would do it. And I would urge all of the industry participants here and HICIA president to please take the lead to make this happen as well. Another thing I also wanted to point out, in fact, most of the victims of cybercrime actually are those who live in the cyber world, primarily the IT guys. Now, we have more than 800,000 employees in the IT sector working from Hyderabad. If you also add up a few more lakhs, who indirectly work in the IT space, I think you have more than 1 million people working out of Hyderabad alone. And I'm very confident if you actually reach out to them, Jayesh Garu, between Jayesh and DGP and the entire police force, we can actually, how we leverage village police officer system in villages, making citizen policing an integral part of policing. We can do something very similar here. We can actually have these employees in the IT sector work with us, help us, guide us, evolve, skill, upskill and reskill as we move along the path of evolution. My humble request to you, you've also mentioned that, your team had also mentioned that you're working with MSMEs, trying to assess their capabilities, vulnerabilities, etc. But please do it in tandem with Industries Department. Because we are having several facilitation councils. We have district industry officers. We can work with you. We can actually sensitize the entire MSME ecosystem, make them more robust, ensure that they build capabilities to thwart any cyber attacks on them. Let me also quickly compliment you on coming out with SOPs. I loved what I saw. When I said individuals need not be looked at, but institutions need to be built, I loved the fact that you've built SOPs. And I also loved the fact that you actually recognized and applauded your policemen and women who have actually written those SOPs. I think that deserves a big round of applause for the CP Cyberabad. What I also liked in the tour is the policy advocacy bit. CP Cyberabad was telling me that, we're not only going to be proactive in terms of ensuring crimes do not happen, but we also are promoting policy advocacy through, say, for example, KYC, KYC norms to enterprises. Likewise, policy interventions to the government as well, various agencies of the government. That's extremely important. I know Nalsar has been working on drafting, Balkrishna Reddy Garu is here. They've been drafting a piece of legislation on cybercrime. And Telangana will become the first state in the country to have drafted a piece of legislation on cybercrime. We will make it happen. Please send it across quickly so that we can make it happen. Likewise, I just have 3 requests. While they may not be directly relevant to this meeting today, I think these are 3 very, very important requests. And as a citizen, as a father, and also as a lawmaker, I urge Home Minister Saab and DGP Garu to make this happen. Recently, I had received a request from a lady called Sunita Krishnan, who runs an NGO, who is a very popular NGO that is, to create a list of sexual offenders, a registry of sexual offenders in our city, in our state. I think it's extremely important to keep our children, keep our women, keep our boys, everybody safe. So therefore, I urge Home Minister Saab, आप sexual offenders का registry बनाइए. उनको एक बार और registry में शामिल होने के बाद, उनको कहीं भी employment नहीं मिलना चाहिए, उनको कहीं भी आगे जाके कोई सुविधा ऐसा नहीं मिलना चाहिए गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जिससे वो फायदा ले सके. तो मैं उम्मीद करता हूं सर कि आप और डीजीपी साहब सेक्सुअल ऑफेंडर रजिस्ट्री जल्द से जल्द ला लें. और दूसरी बात, I'm always fascinated with technology which has a positive societal impact. A couple of years ago, along with Scient, we had done a wonderful hackathon, like hackathon. We had run a drone event, and in which, in fact, 2 young women came forward and had demonstrated some brilliant capabilities. They had come forward, and what they had done is basically, they had shown how a drone can be used as a first responder in the case of a distress. So for instance, if there is a young woman somewhere in the middle of the night, and if she's encountered some rowdy elements or sexual offenders, whoever, all she has to do is click a button, an SOS button on her phone, and drone will take off from the nearby police station as the first responder with a siren blaring, with a camera embedded and with a light inside. Now, because the police obviously will take time to navigate through the traffic, cutting across the lanes, etc., etc. That might cost a few precious moments and precious time. So therefore, the first responder, if that drone is already there and if it is capturing, all of that is happening on the ground with a siren blaring. It will serve as a huge deterrent. I request DGP Garu, Home Minister Garu, to kindly ensure that this happens. Now I believe the Telangana Academy of Aviation is in charge of this project. Equipment is all with them. So we can take it up and we can make it happen really, really quickly. मैं उम्मीद करता हूं सर ये भी जल्द से जल्द आप मुकम्मल कर देंगे तो बहुत ही अच्छा नाम मिलेगा तेलंगाना राज्य को पूरा हिंदुस्तान में and it will become a role model for the rest of the country as well. And lastly, sir, let me quickly add, like I said, no initiative will ever be successful and it will ever have scale if the citizens do not participate.